final round of the 2025 UIM MotoSurf World Championship brings us to Macau, a city where coastlines, heritage streets and modern architecture blend into one distinctive setting. Nestled on the southern coast of China, Macau is a place of striking contrasts, seamlessly blending east and west. Iconic landmarks such as the ruins of St. Paul's and St. Dominic's Church showcase the city's deep historical and cultural roots. At the same time, Macau's modern skyline, filled with dazzling skyscrapers and contemporary architecture, reflects its status as a global hub of entertainment and innovation. High above the city, the mountain fortress offers sweeping views of the skyline and harbour, connecting visitors to the city's historical significance with modern vibrancy. As the weekend began, an official opening ceremony brought together riders, partners and guests. After the opening remarks, a ribbon cutting formally marked the start of the event, followed by photos with the event mascots. Chinese delegates were then guided on a short tour around the paddock, taking a closer look at the championship setup and preparations. Throughout the weekend, coastal market stalls were set up around the paddock, giving riders and guests the chance to try and buy local Macau products.
So today's the first day of heat racing, and I am so happy the sun decided to show up. We got worried. We were really hopeful because last year, I think we had a typhoon coming. The waves were terrible. The waves are still terrible this year, but it's sunny today. I'm happy. The sun's brought all smiles on all the racers. We'll just have to see how everything plays out today.
So we're back here in Macau. Weather so far, it's a lot better than last year. Yeah, last year we didn't see any bit of sun. We got some sun and some warmth this time, so that's nice. Waves, just like last year, they're crazy. Yesterday during qualifying was pretty tough, but this first heat was actually more tough. I think we're all feeling it. So it's gonna be a long day. It's a lot of people falling, a lot of people swimming.
It feels great to be racing in Macau. The venue is completely phenomenal. Everything is very comfortable for the riders. The condition on the water, it is very wavy, but it makes it fun.
It's a lovely venue here. I always love to come back here. Last year was amazing. This year it's even better. The weather got perfect, and the conditions are really hard. It's quite choppy, but I love it here, and I'm looking forward to all of the races here.
The formalities complete, the focus shifted to the water, where the world titles would be decided over the course of the weekend. The stock category has been one of the most closely fought divisions all season, with different riders stepping up at different rounds, and Macau added even more intensity to the battle. Across the heats, the Chinese riders showed real pace. Jin Shulin won 2 of his heats, and Feng Zhanghao squeezed past Anthony Squire to take the Heat 4 win, while Down Kim stayed firmly inside the top 3 throughout the weekend, making it difficult for anyone to gain easy points. But despite that pressure, Anthony Squire's season-long consistency, combined with his 3 heat wins, kept him in a strong position to secure the World Championship title.
So I'm hoping for a good weekend. Yes, I am currently leading the points for the championship pretty well. But in racing, anything can happen. Down Kim is right there, 2nd place, and then we got Hassan in 3rd place. So I'm just trying to keep a good lead against those guys, and then hopefully I can take home 2 trophies this weekend.
Now we head over to the live commentary of the final stock race.
If we get the all clear, let's race in the Stock World Championship in Macau. A great start from Zhang Maoxiu, and it looks as though Anthony Squire's going to have to try and follow him in pursuit and also hold back Jan Travnicek. Squire gets out slightly wide at the slalom. He goes left as Zhang Maoxiu goes right. So if Anthony Squire can get this worked out in his favour, he might be able to get out of the slalom first. He's working at it. They're going to come side by side. Oh, Zhang Maoxiu! Zhang Maoxiu's down! Zhang Maoxiu falls down in the white water, side by side with Anthony Squire. And so the American takes the lead. The mistake comes on the first side-by-side boy, and it's Zhang Maoxiu who's gone down again. Twice now Zhang Maoxiu has made the error on the opening tour. From pole position down to the back as Anthony Squire rolls up his sleeve, and the mammoth Leviathan has taken advantage in the Stock World Championship final, the Melco Grand Prix of Macau. And so now, the 29-year-old from Charlotte in North Carolina can win this race going away. He's on the long lap, on lap 3. So Anthony Squire working his way through into the slalom. This is exactly what he wrote in his own script in his mind. Currently Hassan Bouabas leads the way from Zhang Maozhou, but that's because neither of them has taken their long lap. Now Anthony Squire has actually come out of the long lap behind the Chinese driver Jin Shulin. So it's not as clear cut as Anthony Squire thought it was. So Jin Shulin riding a very calm race indeed here. Comes out through the slalom as Anthony Squire has to go parallel to Damian Kadlec. They are dueling for third position behind the ever-charging Jin Shulin. But this is not over yet. And Jin Shulin goes on to the long lap as well. So does Squire, so does Kadlec. So they're just trying to get the long lap out of the way early then. But Hassan Bouabas needs to do it a second time. For Jin Shulin, Anthony Squire and Damian Kadlec, they are all on their second long lap. Well, Feng Zhenghao has managed to get ahead of Anthony Squire as well after the double long lap. So Squire is going to be lucky to finish in the top 3 of this Macau Grand Prix. And that is a fall once again for Zhang Maozhou. A third fall in this race for the man who started from pole position. You have got to feel for him. As meanwhile, there is Anthony Squire, the newly crowned world champion, trying to work himself back into the top 3, but it's so difficult on this course. It's ridiculously physical here at Macau. And so he's got to try and work his way back, but it doesn't matter as far as the World Championship is concerned. He won't lose it. But Anthony Squire really wanted to end the season with a trophy here in Macau. He'll take the championship trophy. Jin Shulin in second place. Third is Feng Zhenghao. And then it's Anthony Squire in fourth position. But he's got to take the long lap on this one. Otherwise, he will not be classified as a finisher. So now it's all down to whether the Korean can stretch out the gap over Jin Shulin. The answer is no, he can't. Jin Shulin pulls clear. So it's going to be a very unexpected victory for the man who started in fourth position. The Chinese rider has been immaculate. He's in the slalom for the last time, and it's going to be a Chinese 1-2 as Jin Shulin is going to come through for victory out of the slalom for the last time. Here comes the checkered flag. Jin Shulin is victorious here in Macau. Absolutely amazing race from Jin Shulin. And in the final bend, it's a washout. It's second place for Feng Zhenghao. He's got to get it going again. Kim Down is going to get there. Second for Kim Down. And third for Feng Zhenghao, just ahead of Anthony Squire. Oh my goodness. Feng Zhenghao is devastated to lose second place in the final corner of the final lap.
The Chinese riders dominated the stock category here in Macau. Jin Shulin took the win with a confident ride in front of the home crowd. Down Kim followed closely to secure second, and Feng Zhenghao completed the podium in third. A result that reflected just how determined the Chinese riders were to take victory on their own coastline. But all eyes were on the championship standings, and Anthony Squire had already secured enough points to claim the 2025 Stock World title, earning the reward for the consistency he carried through the entire season.
Feeling good, you know, this final race didn't go as I wanted, but it was a really tough fight. These guys are pushing hard. I was exhausted, but really happy to have the championship. Yeah, you know, most of this year was really consistent. I had some really good heats, some really good races, lots of trophies. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to have one from this final, but the championship is what matters, so I'm really happy for that. So just happy to be here with these guys and celebrating it. We've all come a long way, so we'll see what happens next year.
The junior divisions continue to show the future of MotoSurf, and Macau offered another strong display from these young riders.
trying to take the title away. The flag drops, and for the first time today, we race in the Melco Grand Prix of Macau final in junior girl. So round the first boy, Berdova leads from Zhulavinska and Pokorova, with Melanie Yanubova running in close proximity in fourth place. Now, don't forget that this is going to be the toughest and longest of the races that our junior girls will have had to face so far in this competition. They've still got to take 2 long laps like they normally would, but it's definitely going to be fierce competition as Ellen Berdova crosses the line to complete the first lap in front of Maya Zhulavinska.
In the junior girls category, Maya Zhulavinska took the win in the final after a confident ride. Ellen Berdova secured second with a controlled performance, while Adela Pokorova completed the top 3. Berdova's consistency throughout the season gave her enough points to claim the 2025 Junior Girls World Championship.
And the safety team are going to start this race. Off we go for the junior boy Melco Grand Prix of Macau, and there's already an issue as dropping back. That's one of the Czech riders up at the sharp end losing ground. I can't tell if that's Anushka or Oliver Wolf, but already Kohort has got himself a very nice start indeed. And I wonder if that's Max Anushka, who's ended up dropping back in the pack. Certainly off the start, no problems at all for Stanislav Kohort. But is he going to be leading? I don't think he is. As they come off the slalom, I think it's going to be Oliver Wolf. So Wolf is your leader as they come through at the end of this particular slalom. So it's Oliver Wolf that leads the way after a brilliant start. Second place is Stan Kohort.
In the junior boys category, Oliver Wolf took the win in the final with a sharp and decisive run.
My feeling is good, the best, because it's my first race I win, and I'm very happy and proud of myself. Thank you.
Stanislav Kohut claimed second, while Matthias Barvik took third, a result that earned him enough points to become the 2025 Junior Boys World Champion.
I'm very happy, and I do it for my biggest support, and it's my mom, my dad, and my old friends, and thank you very much. I do it for you.
Riders tackled a challenging, technical, counter-clockwise course set along Macau's picturesque waterfront, with strong currents and winds adding to the difficulty.
So we are here in Macau, beautiful weather today, it's sunny, bit wavy, but for me, the track is very good. Also the conditions, I don't mind the waves, so it's comfortable for me, and I'm super excited for the weekend.
Across the heats, the women's division delivered tight and disciplined racing. Sara Zhubarova and Aneta Slukalova each claimed strong heat results that kept them at the front of the pack heading into the final, while Ilishka Marishkova, with multiple dominant heat wins of her own, remained firmly in contention.
Yeah, it's gonna be really hard and really close because me, Sara and Aneta have a little point between us. There is a little point between us, so it's gonna be hard, but I think it's gonna be fun.
Their consistent performances positioned all 3 riders well for the showdown, but the real championship battle was between Aneta, who led the standings, and Ilishka, who remained close behind.
So the first heat of the day, as always, for me it's a bit challenging because I have to warm up, but yeah, the conditions are still the same, I would say, so it was good. I felt pretty much good, so I'm excited for the finals.
Now we head over to the live commentary of the final women's race.
Mariskova, Stukalova, from Chai, Strichalova, Babanova, Gal, Faitova, Lukshida, Lee, Tori, and Volfova. The flag drops. Let's race for the Women's World Championship in Macau. A perfect start for Zubanova and a fairly decent one for Mariskova as well. But Stukalova is still in the hunt, and so is Strichalova as they run through on the far side. It's a fantastic start for Sara Zubanova. She needs to win to be world champion, and she's going about it exactly as she needs to. Mariskova and Stukalova are taking on the challenge. So Sara Zubanova exits the slalom, parallel nearly to Mariskova. as Eliska Matuskova really starts to dig deep and finds the pressure on the 15-year-old from Slovakia. So Zubanova leads the way. Matuskova second, Stukalova is third. Then it's Emma Struchalova who's managed to get ahead of Chaijin. Then Gao, Konorova, fight over. And still the battles rage as everybody knows how tricky it's going to be from this point onwards. Zubanova and Matuskova go back into the slalom as now Aneta Stukalova decides, right, tactics. I'm going to go into the long lap. As Zubanova from Slovakia leads the way. Eliska Matuskova really working hard here. If she follows Sada Zubanova home, then it will be enough to be world champion. But she cannot afford to let Aneta Stukalova get inside her head. Matuskova running good in second, and Zubanova is going to go on to the long lap. And Matuskova goes with her. She's clearly decided all I've got to do is stick like glue to Zubanova, and the job is done. Zubanova and Matuskova both on the long lap. Matuskova doesn't need to get ahead of Zubanova, she just needs to stay with her. And as they exit the long lap, Zubanova still leads Matuskova, and Aneta Stukalova has not been able to overhaul them yet. So into the long lap we go a second time. Later on in this race, for the moment though, it's Zubanova, Matuskova and Stukalova. So when Miki Tori goes onto the long lap for the first time, it will be back to the way it was. Zubanova leading Matuskova and Stukalova. Three perfectly fantastic young athletes here. The 15-year-old Sada Zubanova from Slovakia, the reigning world champion Eliska Matuskova, the youngest ever world champion last year at the age of 16. She's now 17 and a gold medalist in Chengdu. So Zubanova still leads Matuskova, but Matuskova is having a little bit of pressure here from the hard charging Barbara Konorova. She's just managed to put a lap on her. Konorova has gone on to the long lap twice already, as two now as Aneta Stukalova. Zubanova's going for the long lap for the second and final time this season, and so too with her goes Eliska Matuskova. So this is all now down to Aneta Stukalova. She's got to try and find something special here, but she's got traffic to deal with in front of her. That is Miki Tori, I believe. Zubanova comes out of the long lap. She's still leading. And second place, a very strong run for Eliska Matuskova. So Stukalova needs to try and get ahead of Chaijin, but she's not managed it. Chaijin is through in a third position, and that surely puts the World Championship in the hands of Eliska Matuskova. We have completed 5 laps, and it's all now down to stamina. And surely now it's all about Sada Zubanova and Eliska Matuskova staying hungry. And Aneta Stukalova is pushing hard to try and close up on Chaijin. Remember, if you don't finish this race, you end up with no points at all. So you've got to keep your stamina up. Sada Zubanova leads this race. Second position for Eliska Matuskova. There she is, the reigning world champion, and looking likely to win the champion again. Who's that that's gone? It's Chaijin! Chaijin was third. So Aneta Stukalova gets back into third position. That's going to ramp up the pressure on Eliska Matuskova. But it looks like it's going to be a victory for Sada Zubanova. She goes into lap number 8. 7 completed, 2 to go. Eliska Matuskova is in second place, and Aneta Stukalova is charging hard here for third position as Lee Eun-jin gets out of the way of Aneta Stukalova and allows her the chance to push for the top spot. And so Sada Zubanova from Kostaviaska for the MotoSurf Zabora team goes into the final lap. She knew that she had to win this race to stand any chance of becoming world champion, but she also knew it was out of her hands to an extent, because it was all down to Matuskova and Stukalova. What they did was what was really going to count, and Matuskova runs second ahead of Stukalova. She was a point behind. She's going to be 2 points ahead if it stays like this. She's turned this World Championship around, in 3 unbelievable days at Macau. Here comes Sara Zubanova out of the slalom for the last time. She's got an amazing future ahead of her. She will be a Women's World Champion one day, but Sara Zubanova wins the Macau Grand Prix. She is delighted, and behind her, Eliska Matyskova is the double world champion. What a comeback from Aneta Stukalova, but Eliska Matyskova has become the world champion.
In the final, Sara Zubanova delivered her strongest ride of the weekend, taking a confident victory in the final race.
I'm so happy for that, and this is my first year in women's category, and I will be on the podium, so I'm so grateful and happy for that.
Aneta Stukalova followed with a composed performance to secure 3rd place, showing the pace she'd carried through the heats. Eliska Matyskova crossed the line in 2nd, but her consistent results across the season, strengthened by her heat victories, gave her enough points to secure the 2025 Women's World Championship title. During the event, a group of students from a nearby school visited the venue to experience the championship atmosphere firsthand. They were welcomed by director Martin Janchelek and Irene Ho, who introduced them to Chinese stock rider Zhang Maozhu, the World Games silver medalist. He demonstrated how the MotoSurf board works, explaining the controls and techniques the athletes use on the water. The Masters division delivered some of the most disciplined racing of the weekend. Down Kim set the tone early, taking wins in multiple heats with clean, controlled rides that kept him well ahead in the championship picture. Behind him, Arcadia Janora stayed consistently inside the top 3 throughout the heats, collecting valuable points and keeping himself firmly in contention heading into the final.
For the Masters, we're under starters' orders, and it's already a difficult start to the race for one of the Czech riders in the pack, who's already fallen off the toe of the rest of the field. But out in front, it is Kim Down, toe-to-toe with Arcadia Janora. What a start from Janora! And the Pole really wants to win this race. Kim Down is going to have to work hard here, as Kim Yon-boom is trying to come back in it. And Arcadia Janora is the man who's giving chase to the South Korean sensation.
Down Kim delivered another composed and dominant performance, taking victory with a smooth, mistake-free ride from start to finish. Arcadia Janora followed closely behind to secure 2nd place, maintaining pressure throughout the race. While Jaime Hunkachi rode strongly to claim 3rd, rounding out the Masters podium.
I'm so happy with this result, and this is actually my 2nd time champion in Masterclass. So for the next year, I'll do my best to get another champion in Masterclass. Thank you.
Let's take a moment to look at the surroundings of this year's finale. Before racing began, riders and officials were welcomed with a cultural half-day tour through some of Macau's most historic neighbourhoods, visiting and taking group photos at landmarks such as the ruins of St. Paul's, Cameo's Garden, and the Travessa de Pachau, known as Love Alley, one of Macau's new 8 scenic spots. These scenic spots also include Senado Square, with its Portuguese-style pavement, the colourful facades of Rue de Felicidad, the lakeside viewpoints of 2 lakes and 1 tower, and the panoramic scenery at Peña Hill. Alongside the historic charm of Colone Fishing Village, these places form the cultural backdrop of Macau, the atmosphere surrounding this season finale. Stock R Merlin Plus category delivered one of the closest championship battles of the season. Coming into Macau, Fares Ramadan was leading the title fight thanks to his strong results throughout the year. However, his weekend took a difficult turn when he failed to start Heat 2, a DNS which dealt a major blow to his points and allowed Mike Michaelidis to close the gap in the title fight. Mike's steady pace across the heats, combined with multiple top finishes throughout the weekend, brought the title down to one decisive moment. A final race duel between Ramadan's season-long lead and Mike's rising momentum. Now we head over to the live commentary of the final Stock R race.
And we get ready to race for the last time this season as the Macau Grand Prix in the Rookie Merlin Plus class gets underway. And Mike Michailidis is trying to charge forward and get himself at a second place early doors. He's done so. The Cypriot is there as there's already a big pressure cooker brewing behind them as the riders quest for the first slalom. But David Kuchka has got himself a perfect mission. Adam Kolar up in the third position as well. Already some big moves as the contenders are starting to work their magic. It'll be very tricky to see how it concludes, but now the riders know just how tricky it's going to get. As out in first position, we've got ourselves a battle. Kuchka leads. Faraz Ramadan is now up to second place. So the champion-elect is pushing his way further forward. Third position is Mike Michailidis in front of Adam Kolar. So the top 4 men in this race are the top 4 men in the championship. The Monza Monster is in 5th position. Lorenzo Tanda ahead of Behid Shoganchila, Nikita Karpov and Maisio Liam. So it's already a very tough race out of the starting blocks, and Kolar and Tanda have decided to go for broke early and go for the long lap. Keeping an eye on the top 3 in the slalom. It's already very tight indeed, but David Kuchka holds the lead of this race, looking good for 18 points. Faris Ramadan is looking good for 14, and Mike Michailidis is looking good for 11. And that would be enough to seal the World Championship for Faris Ramadan, even if David Kuchka won the Melco Grand Prix of Macau. And so far, so good, as into the long lap goes David Kuchka. But both Faris Ramadan and I think that is Mautsia Liam decide to continue on onto the slalom as Mike Michailidis goes for the undercut of the long lap. If the Cypriot can get one over on Faris Ramadan, then he can change the face of this championship. He's 5 points back, so to win this championship, he needs to win the final and hope that Faris Ramadan finishes 3rd or lower, or he needs to outscore Faris Ramadan by 6 championship points. Either way would do. And don't forget that Adam Kolar needs to outscore Faris Ramadan by 9 points and Mike Michailidis by 4. And there's an issue as down goes Mike Xiaoliam. I'm trying to see who that is, trying to recover. No, it's not Faris Ramadan, thank goodness for that. Ramadan is making his way out of the long lap. And I think that was Nikita Karpov actually getting it wrong there on the far side. So Faris Ramadan has come out of the long lap and he leads the way still. There is the hard-charging David Kuchka. He takes back the lead of the race, but Michailidis has beaten Faris Ramadan out of the slalom. Faris Ramadan is down to 3rd on 11 points. That's still enough for Faris Ramadan to be champion. But if Michailidis gets ahead of David Kuchka, then he will become the world champion. It really is tight at the halfway point. It's going to be very tight as Faris Ramadan goes on to the long lap. He was looking good to be champion. Technically he still is, but he's only going to win it by 2 points if it stays like this. Mike Michailidis can make the bid and close up on David Kuchka. If Michailidis can catch Kuchka and get ahead, he'll be the world champion. A fabulous performance from Mike Michailidis as we watch Faris Ramadan go back onto the course. There goes David Kuchka into the long lap. And it looks as though Mike Michailidis is going to go with him. So Michailidis has already dealt with Faris Ramadan, but now he's got to hope that he can get on terms with David Kuchka and force a mistake from the race leader. But David Kuchka has been dominant in every single race he's started so far this week. The 17-year-old from Valtice in the Czech Republic looking so confident. And so David Kuchka exits the long lap for the 2nd and final time as he now comes through on the end of lap 7 through the slalom. And Mike Michailidis also exits the slalom, but he's doing a grand job because he's put it into 2nd position. And he's chasing down. Kuchka! Kuchka goes into the water! Kuchka's gone down in the slalom! And Mike Michailidis will get past him, surely! Mike Michailidis is riding behind Kuchka, but Michailidis is trying to come around the outside. He's made it! Mike Michailidis takes the lead from Kuchka. The impossible has just occurred for Michailidis. Oh my goodness me! Mike Michailidis has got ahead of David Kuchka and Faris Ramadan. So when Adam Kolar comes through, it's going to be fascinating to see Well, Adam Collard went early on the double run, so I think this is going to be a tough one to call. If Adam Collard is the new race leader, which he is, and it says here he's completed both of his long laps, so Collard can come through and take the win. That's going to be 18 points. It'll be 14 points for Michailidis. It'll be 11 points for David Kuchka, and it'll be 9 points for Faris Ramadan. They will end the season in a dead heat. I cannot believe it. So Michailidis wants to put it to bed. He's going to try and close in on Adam Collard. We've still got 2 laps to go. It's not over yet. Mike Michailidis still working hard here. What's happened to Faris Ramadan? He's fallen behind Tanda. That's going to be the championship by 1 point. If Faris Ramadan stays behind Lorenzo Tanda, Mike Michailidis will be the world champion by 1 point. Who could have thought it would be as dramatic as this? Adam Collard goes into the final lap. He looks good to win the UIM MotoSurf Melco Grand Prix of Macau, but in second place, the 18-year-old from Cyprus, Mike Michailidis, has turned his fortunes around, and it looks to me as though he's going to get it done. Faris Ramadan has got to catch and pass Lorenzo Tanda, but the monster from Monza is having an amazing ride here. 4th position for the Italian stallion, and Faris Ramadan is doing everything he can to catch up to him as a tumble comes the way of David Kuchka. He gets back up, but out in front, it is going to be victory for Adam Collard. He will win the Macau Grand Prix. He takes it, and in second place, Mike Michailidis will be the world champion. He doesn't know it yet. He's the world champion. Mike Michailidis has become the world champion of 2025 by 1 point. I cannot believe it.
The final delivered the intensity expected from a title decider. Mike Michailidis put down one of his strongest rides of the season, maintaining control throughout the race while managing the pressure from the field.
So this race was amazing, unbelievable. I was really fighting with everyone. I was really working hard for it, and I'm very super excited that I got 2 times first place here in Macau, one last year and one this year. And I'm also excited that I became the world champion of stock car. I really want to thank everyone for the support that they gave me, and see you next year with big plans.
Adam Collard, who crossed the line ahead on the water, was later issued a penalty, which reshuffled the results and handed Mike the official win of the final. Mike Michailidis secured the 2025 Stock R Merlin Plus World Championship, completing an impressive comeback from behind and capturing the title. The elite class entered Macau with the closest championship fight of the year. Several riders were still in contention, and every heat leading into the final added tension to the weekend.
It's so good to be back for me, especially after this year winning the World Games in Chengdu, China in August. It's a special thing coming back to this continent, so I'm happy to be here. I'm looking forward for the race. We got very wavy conditions, so it's going to be tough on the physical condition, and we'll see how it goes. We have got the championship battle still open, so I hope I can show some great skill and hopefully repeat a victory. So wish me luck.
Heading into Heat 4, Lukasz Zahorski faced issues with his own board just minutes before the launch, forcing him to switch onto one of his Rocket Racing teammates' boards, swapping the fuel and making final adjustments. Meanwhile, Matej Kozicek wasn't as fortunate. A technical issue early in the heat forced him to retire, leaving him with a DNF that affected his momentum heading into the final. Let's head over to the live commentary of Heat 4 in the elite race.
The flag is in the air. When it drops, we go racing for the 4th qualifying heat in elite. Here we go. It's a great start for Luke Schneider, not a great launch for Zahorski. He's in danger of being caught out by Kozicek round the far side. Luke Schneider is right in with Novotny as Kozicek tries to come round the outside of Zahorski into the slalom for the first time. Luke Schneider and Novotny go opposing ways. And if Luke Schneider can really push on this slalom, he's got a chance to overhaul Matis Novotny and keep his hopes alive. But it's a little bit too wide in berth. Luke Scheider is going to try and keep himself in front of Zahorski. He's done that, and Matthias Novotny leads the way in the final of the heats. It's a fantastic start for Adam Kolar. Kolar has got himself into third position ahead of Lukas Zahorski. So for Zahorski, it really is going all to pot. Although that's Kozishek. Kozishek has got a problem. Kozishek is on the shoreline with a problem with his board. And I think this could be a retirement potentially for Matej Kozishek. He's going to try and restart it and rejoin. But what a shame for Matej Kozishek, who came in with a mathematical chance to be champion. But I think it's game over for Matej Kozishek. So Luke Scheider still battling with Zahorski. They are certainly going to go for broke in the Melco Grand Prix of Macau, the final of the elites later on. But it's looking like it's pretty much done and dusted already for Matthias Novotny, who goes into lap number 4 out of 8. And for the first time, it's the long lap for the leader and the reigning world champion, Matthias Novotny. And that's a fall down into the drink. Is that Zahorski? It is! Lukas Zahorski has gone off the rota and into the slalom waves. That is absolutely catastrophic for Lukas Zahorski, and that is the final nail in the World Championship coffin for Lukas Zahorski. The 6-time world champion and the gold medalist from Chengdu is not going to be world champion this season. But this is going to be a fantastic conclusion to an amazing season for Matthias Novotny, as Luke Scheider is battling big style here with young Adam Kolar. As Matthias Novotny now goes on to the long lap for the second and final time. So Luke Scheider is going to pick up second place off Lukas Zahorski once everything has settled itself out. Luke Scheider has done both of his long laps. Zahorski leads the way, but he's got another long lap to go, and into the drink for what could well be a race-ending fall is the 7. That is Jiri Wolf. But Lukas Zahorski powers past. And so for Lukas Zahorski, he's on his final lap, hoping for a miracle out in front of his young apprentice, Matthias Novotny. But Zahorski knows he's got to go on to the long lap for the last time. He does so now. And so Matthias Novotny will go through the boys, up for the last time, up towards the slalom. And after an amazing campaign last year, he became world champion at 16. Now he's going to cement himself as the future generation of superiority in UIM MotoSurf Elites. Out through the slalom for the last time. He is now uncatchable in the championship ranks. The Grand Prix is still to be decided.
At the front, Matthias Novotny delivered a clean and composed performance to take the Heat 4 win, building momentum at the perfect moment. Lukas Zahorski, riding on his teammate's stock board, still managed to bring it home in third, but unfortunately wasn't enough to keep him in the final fight for the World Championship title.
Solution, so I borrowed a stock board from my friend. We changed the binding fins, but obviously there's less power, and in these conditions it was just impossible to ride the board like I'm used to. So I fell 2 times, but I pushed as hard as I could, but it was not enough. So I guess this decided the World Championships for me, and yeah, it kind of pisses me off because it's been just very unlucky weekend. But obviously there's motorsport, so what can I do?
With that result, the title picture narrowed to just 2 riders, Matthias Novotny and Alex Lukscheider, and the final race would decide who would take the Elite World Championship title. Now let's head over to the live commentary of the Elite Final.
The flag is in the air, and let's go racing! The Elite World Championship will conclude with the Melco Grand Prix of Macau. Look how close it is between the top 4 already. As Zahorski tries to get up the inside of Alex Lukscheider, he almost drifts away. And through into third goes Kozishek. So Kozishek has got ahead of Lukas Zahorski. Lukscheider's pushing clearly very hard in the opening store. But out in front, Matthias Novotny comes out of the slalom first, and Lukscheider has got ahead of Kozishek. Lukas Zahorski is really struggling. He finds himself down in 4th place. The gold medalist in Chengdu and the 6-time world champion. Then it's Kolar in P5, and all 7 of these amazing competitors are putting in as good a show as they can find. Luke Scheider goes for the long lap, so too does Zahorski. as the top three riders are now Novotny, Kozishek and Kolar. Where can Matej Kozishek slip in between these two, or will he beat them both out? Through the boys, Luke Scheider is going to come forward. Can Zahorski beat Kozishek out of the long lap? No, he just misses it. So Zahorski goes for the long lap again straight away. I nearly got him, so I'll do it the second time. Luke Scheider in front of Kozishek. Matthias Novotny is closing up on them, but that is because he has yet to take even his first long lap. He wants the mother of all gaps. He doesn't want to have to worry about anything in this race. He comes out through the turns, and now he does go on the long lap. So now it just essentially comes down to the wire. Matthias Novotny on course to winning his final race of the season. And that is Luke Scheider. Alex Luke Scheider has tumbled into the waves. So Alex Luke Scheider will have lost a good 6 seconds in that, and that will be second place surely, lost to Lukas Zahorski. Alex Luke Scheider trying to fight his way back into contention, but once you fall once, it's very easy to fall again. And Lukas Zahorski is now doing what he needs to do to get back on terms, but Matthias Novotny is having an amazing ride here. He's already taken one long lap, everybody else around him has taken two. So now it's up to him as to when he goes. It's now. The closing laps of this 2025 season. At the end of this one, Matthias Novotny will be halfway home in the Melco Grand Prix of Macau, and then it comes down to attrition and stamina. Matej Kozishek has now got ahead of Alex Luke Scheider as a result of the Apex Pilots tumble. So Matej Kozishek is going good for a podium finish here as Matthias Novotny clears the long lap for the second and final time, and he's well clear of Zahorski and Kozishek. Matej Kozishek is now putting pressure on the living legend Lukas Zahorski, 6 times the world champion, gold medalist. This is a really impressive ride from Matej Kozishek, clearly leaving his very best ride to the end of the weekend. He's well clear at the moment of Alex Luke Scheider, a full couple of boys in front of the Apex Pilots. Set laps are now going to be brought down, I think, to the slaloms. That's where the overtaking moves could happen. But certainly Matthias Novotny is having a great ride of it. Adam Kolar is on the verge of being lapped. The 15-year-old has been brave to come in against these superstars, but he's not quite at the same level yet. So Adam Kolar is obviously going to have a little bit of a moment here as Matthias Novotny comes up to lap him. Zahorski in second, Kozishek in third, Luke Scheider in fourth ahead of Kolar. So Matthias Novotny does not want to rush this. He goes the opposing direction to Adam Kolar. Kolar goes left, so Novotny goes right. So Zahorski in second, Adam Kolar gets out of the way. And on to lap number 10 comes Matthias Novotny. 3 laps to go before the newly crowned world champion dominates at Macau. Winner of heat 1, 2, 3 and 4 after an amazing run in qualifying. It was always going to be tricky to take on the likes of Luke Scheider and Zahorski at full chat. But now the sorcerer is about to be beaten in full-time competition by his apprentice. For me, this has been an amazing ride too for Matej Kozishek to really follow in the draft of Lukas Zahorski and get under the skin of Alex Luke Scheider. A brilliant performance in the last race of the season, and he will very much deserve to be on the Macau Grand Prix podium. But into the slalom for the last time comes the double world champion, the 17-year-old from Petrovice. A fabulous run for the Nekonice superstar for Rocket Racing. Out of the final turn, the world champion wins the Macau Grand Prix. Matthias Novotny dominates in Macau. Lukas Zahorski comes through for second place, and it is going to be an amazing podium for Matej Kozishek. A fantastic end to the season in 2025, as Matthias Novotny is not just the world champion, he's not just the double world champion, he's also the king of Macau.
Maciej Novotny delivered one of his strongest rides of the season and took the win. Lukasz Zahorski secured second with another consistent performance, while Maciej Kozicek rounded out the podium. Novotny's season-long consistency, strengthened by his Macau victory, allowed him to comfortably secure the 2025 Elite World Championship.
Really amazing because I do it 2 times in a row. I'm so happy and proud of that, and I would like to thank to my dad because he's the mechanic of my board, and also to my family and my sister and my friend and the team Rocket Racing and All-Star.
Just before the final, I had to change my main fin because I figured it was broken. So this was one big broken race for me, but eventually it somehow ended good. Rocket Racing team has got a world champion. I'm the runner-up, so 1-2 in the race, 1-2 in the championship. Couldn't be better. So I'm proud of Matthias what he achieved because it's his life. He gave it everything and he really deserves it. So happy about his weekend.
The season concluded with the MotoSurf World Championship Gala dinner. The evening featured short welcome remarks, a highlight video from the Macau round, and a toasting ceremony with the VIP guests. The podium followed, awarding the category finalists and the world champions of their respective categories. That concludes our final round of the UIM MotoSurf World Championship here in Macau. See you in 2026 for next season.